What's up, guys? It's Blake Cook from Keller Williams. Today I'm throwing my hat in the ring when it comes to buying versus renting and which is the better choice. Here we go. So first I'm going to talk about the advantages of buying. I'm going to list three. The first one is stability, meaning that the home stays where it is. You don't have to worry about rent going up. It is where it is and it's stable. The second one is equity. The easiest way to explain that and understand that is your debt or your loan pay down. The lower the loan balance, the more equity or the more money you have in your home. Think of it as a passive savings account, kind of. The third one is that currently rates are really low and most people are gonna do a 30-year loan, meaning that you're gonna have a low rate for 30 years, making this a pretty good time to buy. That's another very big advantage of buying a home right now. Now, the biggest disadvantage when it comes to buying versus renting, in my opinion, is lack of flexibility. Whenever you buy a home, it is not easy to just pick up and move. You have to get your home ready to sell, then you have to sell it, and you have to figure out, can you sell it? Can you buy another one? It really makes you stay in one spot and it removes a lot of your flexibility. Now I want to talk about three advantages to renting because there are some. The first one is flexibility, mobility. I think 30 days is what you need, and you can go wherever you want. You can leave Springfield, you can go, and you're just free to meander around the world. The second biggest advantage to renting are the amenities. That means cable, internet, the pool, walking trails, all those different things, but also general maintenance. You don't have to worry about that. That's one of the biggest reasons that I hear people say that they're not ready to buy, just because they really like the amenities, and I don't blame them. The third advantage is there's no down payment required, meaning you don't have the stress of saving up for a down payment or having to go through figuring out how to do that. The biggest disadvantage that I see to renting, everyone says all the time, you're throwing your money away. And I'm gonna say it that way so it's easy to understand, but basically there's no tax advantages, there's no tax credits, there's no equity. You're basically paying somebody else's mortgage and you're making them money. That's the biggest disadvantage in my opinion. Now I want to get into the numbers of it. People are saying you can buy a house for cheaper than you can rent. In most cases that's true, but you're comparing apples and oranges. Rent is not the same as a mortgage payment. I'm going to break that down. And how I'm going to break that down is how I decided personally that renting was not as good of an option as buying a home. I'm going to talk about the cost of opportunity. All of my financial advisors out there, I'm being simple and I don't understand it completely, so don't rag on me too hard, but I think you'll get the concept. So what does it cost to have the opportunity to rent or have a mortgage payment? When it comes to renting, it's simply rent. You pay rent every month and you get all of those things, that's all included. Now the opportunity to have a mortgage is a little more intense. You have taxes, you have your general maintenance, and then your equity costs, which is what it takes to get into the property and to keep it at its current value, keeping the home up to date. Now, when you run through all the numbers, and I do suggest that you do the research because your opinion is gonna be on one side or the other of those things, use those numbers to decide, and 9 out of 10 times, depending on the market, you're gonna figure out that buying long-term is the better play for your money. And when you break it down in Springfield, Missouri, the cost of opportunity tends to lend itself to buying a home because you can buy a home cheaper than you can rent right now currently, but that could change. And the advantages, like I mentioned earlier, are on the buy side. Now, as an investor, I talk about this with all my friends, and a lot of people say, well, there's a lot of people right now that are renting homes and they think it's best. And these people are investors and they understand what's happening. How do you explain that? I'm gonna explain that very quickly. Those people that you're talking about live in very big homes, 8,000 square feet. They also move a lot. And it's cheaper whenever you get into $1.2 million homes or $2 million homes, sometime to rent it for $22,000 a month than it is to tie up your cash. The biggest thing that you need to understand about this is they are taking the difference between what a mortgage payment or how much money that it would take to buy that house, and they are investing it otherwise. If you think renting is the best way, you would have to invest the difference between your rent and your mortgage payment. If you're not investing that and getting like an 8 to 10% return on your money, it doesn't make sense. Look into it. And at the end of the day, there's really no wrong or right answer because it kind of depends on what you want to do. They both have pros and they both have cons. If you need flexibility, renting's for you. If you need stability, buying's for you. I'm Blake Cook from Keller Williams, and if you want to buy, I'm here to help you. My information comes up next. Let me take you to coffee. I'm out.